Hi, I'm Mechaela, and I have been working here at Erin Condren now for almost 3 years. And I started out with the company working at one of our retail stores. I was the store manager there, and I now work with our product development team as a product manager. But before I joined the EC team, I was a full-time teacher. I taught here in Southern California for 4 years, and I got my master's in teaching, and I taught 1st, 2nd, and 5th grade. And during my time as a teacher, I was that person who said yes to everything. So at one point, I was full-time teaching along with being on 7 different committees at my school site and at the school district. And during that really busy season of my life, the one thing that really helped ground me and keep me sane was my planner. So I had used this planner for 5 years, the teacher lesson planner. I used it while I was in grad school and student teaching and for my 4 years in the classroom. And my hope with our teacher lesson planner launch this year is that this planner can help bring peace and joy to you like it did to me when I was in the classroom. Now, as far as what we're going to be covering in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the different teacher lesson planner options that we have this year, along with how to actually use this planner both inside and outside of the classroom. And of course, we'll be talking about accessories at the very end. So let's go ahead and let's dive into some of the different teacher lesson planner options. The first option we have is our original teacher lesson planner. This is our coiled 8.5 by 11 size planner, and you can choose between vegan leather cover options or our traditional interchangeable covers, which you can change out throughout the year, which is what I used to like to do when I was in the classroom. But with this planner, you have the option of choosing between 2 different interior designs. And what's really cool about this year is because we launched the teacher lesson planner after the life planner, you're gonna actually see some of the designs that were featured in our life planner in the TLP this year. So you can choose between the In Bloom design for your interior, or you can choose the Harmony colorful design, which is a lot more vibrant. So you can choose between those 2 different interiors for our traditional coiled 8.5 by 11 teacher planner. The next option we have is our soft-bound teacher lesson planner. Now, this is gonna be a great option for someone who wants something that's a little bit more slim, portable, not as heavy in your bag, because as you know, teachers carry all the things all the time with them. So this is a much more compact version of our traditional planner. It's gonna have the same layout on the inside, so nothing's gonna change there. It's in an 8 by 10 size, and what's really great is it does have a lay flat design. So if you are a lefty and you get really frustrated with the coil, you don't have to worry about that with the softbound version because it does have that nice lay flat design. So you have 2 different options when it comes to the softbound planner. You have the In Bloom design or this blush design with the Harmony colorful interior. Now, the next option is a little bit bigger than those 2. It is our teacher lesson planner binder. Now, this binder, in my opinion, is the most customizable option that we have for the teacher planner. The reason why I feel like it's so customizable is because it has a traditional 3-ring hole punch. So if you are a teacher or if you're someone who likes to add in pages or take pages out, this really gives you that flexibility to do what you want with this planner. So if you're someone like me who says yes to everything and is on different committees and you have meeting notes and copies you want to run in your classroom, you can actually add those into the teacher lesson planner binder so that you have everything all in one place. Now, if you are more of a neutral person like myself, you might gravitate more towards our focused collection. And for the first time this year, our focused collection has a 7 by 9 size teacher lesson planner, and it is stunning in person. And the biggest difference between our traditional teacher lesson planners and this one is that there's a much more minimalist approach and design to this planner. So I'll go to a blank page so you can kind of see there's not a lot of design or color on the pages. It really is just more of a streamlined approach to planning. So if you are more of a neutral person and like that aesthetic, this might be something you gravitate more towards. And just like with our regular teacher lesson planners, we also have a softbound focused teacher lesson planner. This again is in the 8x10 size, and it's in this beautiful sage color, and it will of course be in the lay flat design just like the other one, but you can choose between a 7x9 coiled teacher lesson planner or this 8x10 version as well. Now we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of the different ways that you can use a teacher lesson planner. And one of the many reasons why I loved using this planner is because it's so versatile and there's so many different ways that you can use this really functional layout. So the first way that I wanna talk about is the way that I actually used this planner when I was in the classroom. And that was for your traditional weekly lesson plans. So this really was the thing that I went to every single day in my classroom. And it really allowed for me to get just a nice overview of what was going on in my week. So you can use this planner for traditional weekly planning, and it does run Monday through Friday, but sometimes if I found that I had stuff going on the weekends when it came to teaching, I would sometimes split up this side section, which is the notes section. I would sometimes split that and put Saturday, Sunday on the top and the bottom if I found that I had stuff to do on the weekends. But the thing that really changed in my last year of teaching was we were required to start to turn in digital lesson plans. And at first when I heard that, I was like, wait, but I've been using my teacher lesson planner for 3 years. And I got bummed just because for me, planning has always been a source of happiness for me and a really nice creative outlet. So when my admin told me we had to turn in digital lesson plans, I was wondering if it was going to be redundant to write the same thing into my teacher lesson planner. But I very quickly realized, as many of you know who are in the classroom, things change on a daily basis, especially when you're teaching 32 kids. So I actually found in my last year of teaching, when I had to turn in digital lesson plans, I actually still found myself looking at my physical teacher lesson planner the most, because this was the most realistic view of what was actually going on in my classroom. So I showed kind of an example spread of what that looked like when I was having to turn in digital lesson plans alongside using my physical planner. So there's not as much writing in here, but I found that this was a lot more realistic to what was actually going on in my classroom versus what I had to turn in to my principal at that time. And something that I really started to play around with when I got these beautiful planners was when I found out we were going to be coming out with a 7x9 size. I was a little worried because I was so used to writing in that 8.5x11 size. I was curious if everything that I would write in the 8.5x11 planner would fit in here. But I actually mocked up the same exact spread that I had in that big planner, and everything fit perfectly inside this 7x9 focused planner. So if you're worried about the space and you're used to working in that larger size planner, don't worry, everything still fits really nicely in here. I did have to shorten up a few things just because I was a little lengthy with my wording on stuff. But I just wanted you all to know that if you were worried about the sizing and you want to maybe shrink down to a 7x9 or to an 8x10 softbound planner, everything will still fit in that planner to help you navigate your week teaching. Now, if you are someone who is not in the classroom, but you love the layout of this planner, you can absolutely use this planner for more things than just teaching. So I actually practiced with it this week, and I put in what I'm actually doing for work right now. So because I'm on the product development team, I work with a lot of different departments within our company. So there's a lot of different people who I talk to on a day-to-day basis. So I actually used the teacher lesson planner right here as kind of like a project managing planner to kind of like separate out all of the different tasks that I do on a daily basis. So this actually turned into more of my work planner this week, and I found it actually made it really nice to be able to compartmentalize everything in here by the different departments that I work in. So you can use this as a project planner or a work planner. Or what I also did too was when I left the classroom a couple years ago, I started full-time tutoring students, and this was right during the shutdown and the pandemic. So if you are someone who homeschools or you tutor students full-time, you can absolutely use this planner as a homeschool planner or for tutoring students as well. And at that season of my life, I tutored 2 students full-time. His name was Henry and Jasmine, and I would color code everything for them. So all of Henry's stuff was in yellow. He was obsessed with the color yellow, and Jasmine was obsessed with like a seafoam green turquoise color. So that's another way that you can really help separate things out in your teacher lesson planner, is by color coding. And that really helped me when I was full-time tutoring those 2 students after I had left the classroom. But as you can see, there really are so many different ways that you can use this planner. It's such a great functional layout. And even if you're not in the classroom, maybe you're outside of the classroom working at the school district, or you want to keep track of all the different projects you're working on in your job, there really are so many different ways to use this planner. All right, the last thing we're going to be talking about today are accessories. And the first accessory that I want to show you all, I am so excited about this. Working with our product development team, I know how much hard work and heart and effort have gone into creating this backpack. So we finally have a backpack to fit all of the things. Even if you're not a teacher, it can fit a large 8.5 by 11 planner. It can fit a smaller 7 by 9 planner, or your notebooks if you like to carry those with you. It can also fit different writing utensils and accessories. If you love to use planning pouches or our accordion pouch, you can also fit that in here. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and talk about some of the accessories that are in here. One of the next products that we're launching with our teacher lesson planner is our teacher record book. And this is something that I wish was available when I was in the classroom. This came out the year after I left the classroom, but this teacher record book is something that I would have absolutely loved to have used in my classroom, because it's a way for you to have more checklist pages. Because in the back of your planner, there's 7 that come in the back of there. But if you find that you need more space to keep track of student work or homework, learning centers, anything like that, there are a bunch of pages in this teacher record book for you to keep track of your students' work in progress. So for me, when I was teaching in the primary grades, I would have loved to have used this for tracking things like sight words, or with their learning centers, if they turned in their work, I would have loved to have had this book right here to keep track of their progress. Now, a great accessory to accompany this that I am really excited about are our teacher dual tip list markers. Now, these are a 6-pack of markers that we made especially for teachers. And I'm really excited to say that all of the stamps that you see on these markers fit perfectly into the checklist boxes in our teacher record book and in our teacher lesson planner. So there's 6 different stamps on the end of these markers with a black tip on the opposite side. And the 6 different stamps are a black check mark, we have an orange asterisk, we have this kind of circle filled in robin color, we have a purple X, and then this slash mark. And at first when you see that slash mark, some people aren't sure how to really use that, but this blue slash mark stamp is really great for if you're writing in the scores of certain projects or of spelling tests. So let's say a child got 6 out of 10 correct or 5 out of 5 correct. You can actually write that in using that slash mark, which is really great. And then the last stamp that we have in this set is the red hollow circle. And this is really great for if a student hasn't maybe completed their work and then they finally finish it, you can then use that check mark to mark that they've finished that project. So these dual tip list markers are fantastic to go alongside the teacher record book or to just use inside your teacher planner as well. Now, the next accessory that I wanted to show you all is something that I am also really excited about, It's our large vegan leather folio. Now this is a folio that will actually fit an 8.5 by 11 coiled teacher lesson planner. So we traditionally only came out with this in a 7 by 9 size, but we finally came out with one that can fit your teacher lesson planner. So if you are a teacher that's on the go, going back and forth between the district and your school site, this can hold everything that you could ever need to go along with your teacher planner. So we can have you fit things like our sticker books, you can fit washi tape up here, some of your favorite writing utensils down here, along with a notepad in the very back. So you can really fit just about everything you could possibly need to go alongside your teacher planner. Now, the last accessory that I want to quickly show you all is our beautiful Color Blends accordion pouch. I actually love to travel with these too, but if you are a teacher that's on the go or someone who just wants something to hold all of your accessories, this is a great option for that. It can hold your sticker books, it can hold your writing utensils, washi tape, everything you could need can fit inside here as well. Thank you all so much for joining me today to learn all about all of our new teacher planners and all the beautiful accessories that have launched. We can't wait to see what planner you pick this year, so make sure to tag us on social media at Erin Condren so we can see all of your spreads and everything that you picked for this year. And again, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night wherever you're watching from.